Hey everybody, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I'm here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
Disney accused of snow job over Frozen 2.
Yeah, surprise.
Surprise, surprise. Disney is actually paying influencers to promote their movies.
Not a surprise.
Not a surprise. What is surprising is, well, not a surprise either. They're paying influencers to promote their movies, and they're not disclosing that they're actually on the take from Disney.
Imagine that.
Imagine that. Imagine that. That is something you're supposed to do. So we're going to talk about the weird, wild world of Disney influencers and how this is supposed to work versus how it seems to be working. And this actually throws a little doubt on some of the other media outlets that are rabidly pro-Disney. You know, because you have to wonder, are they on the take too, but they're not disclosing it?
Well, let's be honest. I mean, go ahead.
I was gonna say, how far down does the mouse hole go?
There you go. I mean, if did they get media access to go to events? If they did, then there's certain rules you have to play by.
We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about that. So before we get into it, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants here on Clownfish TV. We passed 82,000 subs.
I know. Only 18,000 more to go.
Only 18,000 more to get to the six-figure club.
I want to be in the six-figure club.
Everybody wants to be in the
It's like the Mile High Club, but better.
Yeah. Wait. No,
It's like the Mile High Club, but better.
Mile High Club's pretty good.
No, it's not. Those bathrooms are small.
Okay. All right. So six-figure
Full
club.
disclosure from my mother, we have not done the Mile High Club.
No. I don't even like the bathrooms on airplanes.
No, why would you do that in the bathroom on an airplane?
I hold it until you get to the airport. Anyway, the Wall Street Journal calling out Disney for their shill practices. Now, full disclosure, there are more parties involved than just Disney, and we'll talk about that because I've had experience. No,
you don't. You've never even probably been to the parks.
You don't know what you're talking about.
Paying off people on the other side.
You're just biased. Disney accused of snow job over Frozen 2. Tweet apology. Japanese artists contradict company's initial explanation that it intended to show tweets were part of the ad campaign. They intended to. Japanese artist hired to promote Disney's movie Frozen 2 on Twitter said they were instructed to hide that they were paid for the work. Contradicting Disney's initial explanation that the omission was accidental.
Somebody's in trouble.
The agency that hired us for this campaign requested we not label our work as a promotion, said an artist who publishes under the name Kosami Daizu. Is that what it is? I botch these names all the time. The artist, who has more than 100,000 followers on Twitter, tweeted a cartoon last week in which he depicted some characters in Frozen 2 and reviewed the movie favorably. But don't list it as a promotion. He didn't respond to requests for comment. Other artists involved in the campaign also apologized. So there were a lot of artists involved in this. An artist who goes by the name, see, I'm going to mangle these names. Another artist tweeted an earlier tweet praising Frozen 2 wasn't labeled as promotional in accordance with the client's directions.
Now, we know that when Disney when you do promotions for Disney, they give you a special hashtag for that.
Yeah, in the parks. Now, here's the thing, and people have to understand too. Disney is a multi-headed beast. It's a large
That sounds like it might have been more the agency that hired the artists.
Yeah, but Disney is usually pretty weird about it. So I don't know. There's something going on.
If I were to say what I personally believe that they probably were told not to
by Disney.
Yeah, because it's like too obvious. All these artists start saying that they were, hashtag hosted or whatever.
Yeah, it would. If Twitter was all of a sudden bombed with a bunch of Frozen 2 art that had a particular hashtag, people would know. People like us would jump on
immediately. This happens all the time. We saw it with South Korea. They bought out 88% of the box offices for the movie to be played so that they could get record profits. They do these campaigns all the time. They hire influencers all the time. This is what they do to try to sway people. They're trying to trick you into thinking it's better than it is because these people tell you it's better than it is. But you're supposed to have some kind of, disclosure that you're paying these people to promote you. Otherwise, it's problematic because then you're like, I don't want to say cheating, but you're doing things underhandedly.
You're influencing people's opinions on a product, and you're not disclosing that you're being paid. And I think the rabbit hole actually goes pretty deep. I'm going to be honest. I think studios like Disney are probably some of the biggest offenders. And if they can get away with, because they want it to look organic. They even said, I went to a media event at the Disney parks in April, and they said that they reach out to influencers because it looks more organic, coming from somebody, a voice that people trust.
Right.
But the thing is they've been busted before.
As long as it's the right kind of voice people trust.
As long as it's the right kind of voice. We're going to talk about all this in the video. The rabbit hole goes pretty deep. But the events I've been to, which were all parks events, they always do give you a hashtag. It's usually hashtag hosted, because you have to identify that your Instagram picture, your article, whatever, was hosted by Disney. They paid for it, and that's kind of their identifier that this is paid content. I don't think it's as explicit as it should be, because, for example, on YouTube, if you're promoting a product or something, or somebody gives you a free something, you're supposed to disclose that they gave it to you. They even have a thing on YouTube that you can toggle on. It says this includes a paid whatever. You're supposed to say, hey, this is a sponsorship, whatever.
But they're upfront about it, so people don't feel like they're being tricked.
Right, but Disney's very... Because you can bury that hashtag.
They're very tricksy.
They're very tricksy. You can bury that hashtag, and they do go out and look for authoritative voices that will toe the line in exchange for free stuff. And I don't know how much these people were paid, but there are multiple agencies, in addition to, like the Disney Parks that has its own marketing department. But all the studios have their own ad agencies that they work with.
Right.
Now, when we ran the one Disney blog, different agencies used to reach out to us all the time, say, hey, could you promote, we got Winnie the Pooh Blu-ray coming out, we'll send you one, could you do something, whatever. But again, we would disclose they comped us, the studios comped us something.
Nuh-uh. That Muppet was the one who made that deal, even though you made the deal months before.
Oh, yeah, right.
Sorry.
Right. Got on the approved media list without, that never happened. So, yeah, this is interesting. Wednesday, Disney issued a new statement acknowledging repeated cases in which artists were hired to promote Disney movies on social media without disclosure.
They acknowledged that they didn't have to give disclosure.
Yeah.
They were told not to.
Yeah.
Oh.
Let's go see. Let's go see. Oh, well, I can't read it. Okay, this is the Japanese. We take the fact that inconvenience the creators who participated in the Anna and the Snow Queen 2 impression manga project. In addition, we take this is probably a really bad translation. We take this seriously with the disappointment of our fans. Disney has established internal guidelines for marketing activities. Similar projects, including this, are the result of a lack of awareness and compliance with the guidelines, and the creators who participate are not responsible.
So they're blaming the studios that hired them.
Yep. Again, this is coming from Walt Disney Company Japan. Again, I apologize deeply for the matter. In the future, we will endeavor to prevent the recurrence by thoroughly disseminating internal guidelines to prevent this from happening. So
they're claiming people just didn't understand the rules, but it's not their fault because they didn't make them clear. We didn't tell you, so it's not their fault, but they just didn't understand.
No, I think it's called, they can probably get away with more in Japan than they can.
Yeah, because they have to market here.
They got in trouble. In fact, the one event I was at, they were making damn sure everybody hashtagged all the photos and everything as hosted, because I think they got in trouble. I think they got in trouble for it already, because Disney does, and we're going to talk about this, how Disney maintains favorable status a lot of times with all the blogs and the YouTube channels, and they basically give people free stuff. And they give lots of free stuff.
Right, and what they do is they send these people out, these marketing people out to find people who have, they think it can get the most organic reach from, to have a lot of followers that they could pay them to sneak it in, and with a hashtag, most people aren't even going to notice. So it sounds like they hired Dentsu Inc., which is the largest advertising and public relations group.
I was going to say, Disney's not going to hire some hole-in-the-wall agency. So, here's the thing. Yeah, Japan's laws are different. Japan's consumer laws bar false or misleading advertising, but an official at the country's consumer affairs agency said the agency hasn't issued any guidance on paid posts by influencers. I
bet they do now.
So, in the U.S., it's different. There actually was a big thing, I think it was about 2 years ago, because of the adpocalypse, where a lot of these toy review commercials, like the Ryan's Toy or whatever, the toy companies sent them toys, and they had to disclose that they were given those toys.
They weren't just buying them because that child decided they liked those toys.
Right. It was paid promotion. And now they have a thing where if you have toys that you're given, or you have some other merchandise you're given, you have to toggle on YouTube, because what happens is some advertisers aren't happy that you're potentially promoting a competitor's product, and they're paying to advertise on your video with
right.
I'd be clever.
But isn't that sad? That's the reason they do it. It isn't the fact that kids and parents trust these channels, and they're expecting a fair and unbiased opinion, and it turns out they were bought off the whole time.
Yeah.
But no, the takeaway is it might hurt advertisers.
It might hurt advertisers.
But it's welcome to the world. But in this case, it's like people were going to these artists and trusting their opinion because they like their art. Oh, they must be a fan. It must be really good. I trust their opinion because they always do good stuff. And then they turn around and go and go to the movie or give them money, and based on this person's opinion that turned out to be paid off.
Yeah, and they have to disclose it. I mean, we've had, we did just a toy review a couple of weeks ago on the gaming channel for some ducks, but we said, look, they sent these to us.
But they were really cool.
They were really cool. But they sent them to us. And if they sucked, I'd be like, man, this is...
Yeah, because you're allowed to say
pay for them.
You're allowed to say what you want to say. Actually, those are ones we'd actually buy.
Yeah, they are pretty cool.
Well. But we would say, if we thought something was sucky, we'd say so. If you watch our channel, we would. It's just this whole idea that... And Disney's not the only company that does this. A lot of companies do this, but Disney, I think, really
Disney's one of the worst offenders, I think.
They're trying, and they thought that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to find influencers that they can make it look like organic, so they can make it look like these people really like it, so that they'll go to their audience, and the audience will come thinking, oh, this is recommended by my favorite person, or whatever,
Yeah, and Disney's basically tried to buy off YouTube before, and it blew up. I mean, you talked about
They cannot do YouTube.
They can't. You talked about the apocalypse. We talked about it, and that was Disney buying Maker Studios, thinking they were going to buy off PewDiePie and buy off Markiplier and all these big YouTubers, and it blew up. It failed. It imploded.
We happened to be there when it all went down.
Yeah, we happened to be there.
We were actually in Maker Studios at the time.
Yeah, we had another channel that was on Maker Studios, and the whole thing just collapsed. And we knew the end was near because their people stopped posting on the forums. They weren't answering questions. And the next thing it's like, yep, we're closing shop, guys. We're done. But they couldn't buy YouTube, so they tried to buy off all the YouTubers, and Disney didn't realize that YouTube is very much like the Wild West. It doesn't work like the mommy blogs that they're used to controlling. And then, of course, PewDiePie was part of Maker. When the apocalypse went down, he got booted. And that's what happened. They lost like $500 million, I think.
Yeah, it wasn't
Maker.
One of their smartest moves. They just cannot seem to get YouTube. Just like they cannot seem to get Star Wars, and they cannot seem to get that you shouldn't reboot all the cartoons as live action films. They just can't get this. I just don't know why.
Yeah, so, but this is very normal, especially with the parks, but the studios is a totally different beast. And I'm going to be honest, before we get into this, we've been dealing with a lot of random trolls on Twitter lately and in the comments lately on anything related to Disney and related to Star Wars. And they've been coming in waves. And it's interesting because, the channel's been pretty consistent for the last year and a half. And all of a sudden, we're getting all these new rando accounts and new random Twitter accounts that seem like it's their sole purpose to, call us out, follow us, harass us.
Or troll other people, too.
Or troll other
have
people.
Similar opinions.
Right. So, it's not too much of a stretch. And this is, tinfoil mouse ears. But it's not too much of a stretch to think that maybe somewhere somebody is slipping somebody a couple of Mickeys, mouse dollars, mouse bucks, to go out and try to disparage YouTube channels that maybe don't toe the line.
Other big companies already busted for doing something like that already. So,
Monsanto.
Right.
Monsanto was. They were literally paying people to go bash people who were bashing their product.
Interestingly enough, a couple years ago, it might have even been last year, as part of what I used to do, I would go and research other competitor blogs and different things. There's a lot of cheating going on, but that's a whole other story.
Yeah.
But when I was looking into people where they were getting all these followers for, especially when they had the Twitter purge, you remember the Twitter purge where a lot of accounts suddenly got, cut down or whatever? Interestingly enough, some of these places that you get these Twitter followers through agencies, I'm not saying that it is or isn't. It is or isn't, but I was on the Disney Twitter, and there were let's just say there were some red flags there for not necessarily 100% legitimate on their followings. I'm just saying. I mean, that was a while ago. Could have changed since then. But there were some things that made me like, I see a lot of connections to different things that, was a little bit, it was enough to raise the red flags to me. So I don't, for them, going on about, integrity, I question something.
Yeah, pretty much, with social media, because these companies, look, it's cheaper for them to just give influencers free stuff than it is to go buy, pay thousands and thousands of dollars to boost something on Facebook or boost it on Instagram. They just go pay off people on tickets and cupcakes, you know, and
but
they're going to say
as easy as some of these places make it out to
No,
be.
this was interesting. There are people who literally make a living just promoting basically Disney products, but they do disclose, or they're supposed to disclose, that the stuff is being given to them by Disney. Right.
And I spend so much money on Disney products, but yet they won't give me anything because I'm just the wrong kind of person.
They hate
you. But if it was good, I'd say it was good. People would believe me because I say it's good if it's good. You know, I say it's not good if it isn't.
So I came across this because mommy bloggers and wine moms are like the biggest. I don't know if it's necessarily the demographic that Disney is looking for, but these are the people who are throwing themselves at Disney to get free stuff. Mm-hmm. And they literally just like a month ago, not even a month ago, had a post out here on this blog, Coffee Mom, talking about how you can get free stuff out of Disney. And how you can tweak your blog to make sure you get free stuff out of Disney.
Make sure you're super positive. Magic.
You can work with Disney as an influencer. They may be a huge company with a very large budget. They're very open to working with influencers.
Of all sizes.
Of all sizes, pitching an idea. But they also said, because you said about certain accounts, they said make sure you follow these accounts and retweet them often. Disney's official account, Disney Mom's account, Mom
and
Talk
here's
Radio.
The thing. Okay, back before we started this channel, I actually used to read a lot of mom blogs. It was actually when we did the blogging, I followed several of these to see what was going on with these. And these are the ones that always kept on Twitter. Always at. These are the ones that always pop up. Now, the funny thing about these mom blogs and what made me start looking into Twitter and the thing about Disney in the first place was there are these mom blogs and they'd have like thousands and thousands and thousands of followers on Twitter and they get like one like maybe when they post something. And I was like, wait a minute. Back up the bus. There's no way you have, 100,000 likers on on Twitter and you get like one like every time you post something. It's like that is statistically impossible. And it's because there are these groups that they do it on Instagram, do it on Twitter, they follow each other and artificially boost your numbers so you can like lie to companies like Disney and try to get yourself more biscuits, more cookies, whatever. But these are always the ads that came up on their posts, always.
But they're talking about the different hashtags you can use to try to get their attention.
I'm gonna start doing these with my honest reviews and see what happens.
So basically, the mommy bloggers now who's hosing who? Because you've got Disney effectively buying off social media influencers, right? And it's been proven. But now you've got the mommy bloggers trying to figure out how to trick Disney into giving them free stuff.
Right, but who's dumb? Who's the dumber party here? Because these people are like faking their numbers, and Disney's giving them stuff because they're not even looking into this. And it takes literally 2 minutes to see that there's red flags here, and that's okay. And they'll give them whatever, but they're gonna have no reach. They're like throwing good money after bad. There's gonna be no reach on that. And then other people who might have the reach but don't have the right voice are told no.
Yep.
Because they aren't, all sunshine, cupcakes, and kittens, and but they actually would reach the people they want to reach. It's this really funny backwards, back-ass-words way of doing it.
Look, I'll tell you, it's because the people they have running their marketing department now, they're very young, they're very inexperienced, and they're just looking at numbers. It's so weird because there are notable, Disney fan blogs out there. One of them, I'm not going to name names, but one of them literally lost 2/3 of their Twitter followers because they were fake.
Yeah, when they had the Twitter purge?
Yeah, when they had the Twitter purge, they went from over 100,000 down to like 25 or 30,000.
No, it was like 150, they dropped to 50 or something like that. It was a lot. They dropped about 2/3 or half of their followers in the purge.
So all those followers were probably fake. And they dropped all those followers, but yet they still invite them to all the events and yada yada. We know for a fact there are Disney blogs and Disney influencers out there on Instagram who are buying copious amounts of Instagram followers. It's not even like anybody who tracks this stuff can see.
If you go to Social Blade, the place we used to work at, they're really celebrating Christmas because there's just as much red as there is green on their Instagram.
But yeah, it's big business, and Disney, like I said, they've been doing this for ages. Mm-hmm. It's cheaper for them to just pay people off in product than it is.
Well, that's why they're going for Instagram because they think a lot of people are going to see it. Even though Instagram is one of the most faked.
Yeah, Instagram
load of crap out there. It's so easy to fake Instagram. They're going for these Instagrammers, and because these people are happy to get invited to a cupcake party or to get you give them free mouse ears or something, and they're happy to give you all the publicity you want. But whether their followers are real or not, it's questionable. There are a lot out there that have real followers and they get real interaction, but there are a lot of people who have 80,000 followers and they get 100 likes maybe. It's just, they really need to investigate this further, and they don't.
Well, I think it's they're juggling so many of these people that they don't really follow.
But the whole point of this article is they're going around hiring people to promote, which is what we already knew.
Yeah, and they're doing. I guarantee you, on the down low in the U.S., a lot of these people are like, oh, the shill media. I guarantee you that there are certain perks to working with Disney, work with the studios that you get. We saw how some of the blogs were getting these really fancy invites to the Rise of Skywalker premiere and stuff. You don't get that if you don't play ball.
Right. And
I mean, that's the truth.
Well, wasn't it the one of the papers, the LA Times or something, they got in trouble and they got banned from going to Disney films because they dared say something negative about a Disney film, so they were banned from going out to Disney films for a while.
Oh wait, no, it was they were okay. The LA Times.
Something happened like that. What happened? I forget.
I think it was about them building the hotels or about the workers not getting paid enough, and because of that, Disney took it personally and they barred them from reviewing movies because of one reporter
telling the truth about something.
And it was a very factual article, but Disney felt like they were under attack.
So they got barred from the movies. I remember that.
Yeah, they got banned from the movies, and then people called Disney out, and then Disney, same excuse they used for this.
It was a miscommunication with our the agency. Yeah. Throw the agency. If you're the agency is representing, I'd be worried and have make sure your butt is covered, because the first person who's going to get thrown under the bus for these instances is going to be the middleman. Always.
Yeah, Disney, I think they use agencies, honestly. I think they use them so they can throw the blame, at the agency and be like, oh, we don't know what you're talking about. The agency must have screwed up. Well, we'll just fire them. And
are we saying this happens all the time? Can't say. But we're seeing a trend. I'm just saying there is an actual trend that can be visually seen. So, they're going to be like, well, you're lying. It's like, no, there's actually there's evidence to support this theory that the middleman are the ones that get blamed all the time.
The more money's at stake, the more Disney needs to bring in, because Disney has become so massive now. They need billion-dollar blockbusters. Boom, boom, boom. The more inclined they're going to be to do this. I mean, they are. They need these movies to succeed.
Yeah, that's why, the 88%, Frozen 2, and I mentioned it already, we did a video on it in South Korea. 88% of the theaters, screens, we're talking theaters, screens, ran Frozen 2, so only 12% of screens were allowed to run any other film at all.
Yeah.
During the Frozen 2 run in South Korea. Stuff like that is not okay.
Yeah, so just be aware. And I'm not saying anybody who's a Disney fan is a shill. I'm not saying anybody who's a Star Wars fan.
Oh, no, I still say it. I like Disney stuff. There's stuff on the Disney blog. I say, this is really awesome. I love it. I'll say it.
But just be aware that there might be more to the story. Absolutely. And again, you're expected to play ball.
Yeah, we're not bought off, so.
No. So, all right. Definitely not now.
Yeah, they don't like us too much, I don't think, at this point.
I don't think they like us very much. I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see. All right, guys. We'll talk later.
Bye.
Hey guys, thanks for watching Clownfish TV. Please consider supporting the channel. Go to clownfishsupport.com. That's clownfishsupport.com. And if you want to join our community, go to clownfishtalk.com. That's clownfishtalk.com. Please subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. We will talk to you next time.